Hello everyone! I wanted to take some time and help us with reviewing opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse sides when you have a reference angle in a right triangle. It's going to be really fun. So here we go. Let's take this first triangle for example. Okay, now of course a lot of times they'll give you two different angles here, but I wanted us to really be able to identify the reference angle clearly. So in this example, we could tell that the reference angle is 43 degrees. So I can go ahead and sort of highlight that, and with this class, I've been using a little man or a person to help guide us with identifying these sides. So imagine we are standing at our reference angle and we want to figure out what do x and 13 represent, right? Are they the opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse in this triangle? So if we look at x and we compare it to where we are standing, is x next to us? Is it far from us? What do we notice? Okay, x is a little bit farther from us, right? It's far from where we're standing. It's almost like if we were in a triangle-shaped room and we had to cross the room to get to the other wall. That wall, x, is the opposite side. So we would say x is opposite. And now 13 is right next to us. But is 13 the hypotenuse? No, it's not across from the right angle. It's just right next to us. So we can say that 13 is the adjacent side. Okay, let's do another one. Let's look at this guy here. Okay. First thing we want to know, the reference angle. So we have this 61 degrees here. This is my reference angle. This is where we're standing. So looking at 18 and A. Well, I can tell that 18 is far from me. So it's the opposite side of our triangle. So we can say 18 is opposite. Now this value A, it's either going to be adjacent or hypotenuse. Considering A is across from our right angle and it's the longest side, then I know A is our hypotenuse. Okay. Over here. Now our reference angle is 8 degrees, so that is where we're standing. Now comparing D and 10. Okay, be careful here. So D and 10 are also right next to where we're standing. So they're either going to be adjacent or the hypotenuse. We just have to figure out which is which. Okay, now comparing 10 to D. I know 10 is across from my right angle. So that tells me 10 will be our hypotenuse. And that makes D right next to us, meaning it's adjacent to where we're standing. All right, let's do a couple more. So here we have 38 as our reference angle. That is where we are standing. And we're trying to figure out, of course, which sides are given. You know, N and 5 are given. Again, we have N and 5 are actually right next to where we're standing. So it's going to be the adjacent hypotenuse. Now, which one is which? Now, looking at N, it's across from our right angle. So that tells me that's our hypotenuse. Oh, wow. So now our 5 is going to be adjacent to us. It is right next to us. Okay. last one here. Let's get this little reference angle in and our little buddy to help us out. All right, there we go. So again, looking at where we're standing, we have 42 here. We have X right here. We are standing right next to them. So which one is our hypotenuse? Well, here's our right angle. Across from it is our hypotenuse, 42. That tells us that X would be our adjacent side. Okay, now if I had to go through and fill in the blanks, the missing sides here, I can go ahead and do that just for good measure. So for this first one, this side here will be the hypotenuse because it is across from our right angle. This side here is our adjacent side because it's right next to where we're standing. This side here is so far away from where we're standing, so that will be my opposite side. Ooh, same thing here, right? This side is all the way across from where we're standing, so that is also opposite. And finally, this side as well. If we compare this to our reference angle or where we are standing, this is so far away from us, so that will be our opposite side. Okay, so this was just a really quick review of identifying opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Hopefully you found this to be helpful.